Now, NBC's Vaughn Hilliard is in Paradise Valley, Arizona. That's part of Maricopa County, Arizona. And Republicans have just filed a lawsuit there to try to keep the polls open later. Vaughn, what can you tell us?
Yeah, several of the Republicans expressed concern that there were voters who left lines, specifically earlier here today, when about 20% of the voting centers in Maricopa County had tabulating machine issues. This in Arizona. Arizonans vote by paper mail. This is an important distinction here. So everybody votes by a paper ballot. The issue was that the tabulating machines at some of these locations were not accepting some of the ballots and rejecting them. Now, to note, those county officials say that those votes will still count. They will just not be tabulated until tomorrow when they are taken to the main tabulating center in downtown Phoenix. But what you saw were some situations in which there were lines extending from 30 minutes to an hour long as those county and elections workers were trying to figure out the situation. Now, I want to be clear here because there are folks like Arizona Republican Secretary of State candidate Mark Finchem who were suggesting that there was nefarious action taking part here on behalf of county officials. Usually the number of Republicans here outnumbers the number of Democrats that vote in person. That is why Republicans are especially concerned here. But even Kari Lake, I specifically asked her, I said, yes, it is never excusable to have long lines. It's never ideal. At the same time, there should be no suggestion that this will not be an accurate election here in the state of Arizona at this time. Kari Lake agreed with me on that point here. So as we look to see how this lawsuit develops to try to keep these polling locations open and ultimately the tabulation of these ballots, and it's important to remember that Kari Lake herself acknowledged earlier today that this does not mean that it will be an inaccurate count. Again, there is a record of paper ballots before they go into the tabulating machines, Rachel.
And Vaughn, just to be clear, was the issue with the tabulating machines sorted out? Were they able to resolve the issue, and they're just concerned that people who may have left when the problems were still happening need extra time to come back?
That is the primary concern. We don't have widespread report of people leaving en masse. To be very clear, this is a small subset. There are across the county about 223 voting centers. Folks can go to any one. It's not like you have to go to your neighborhood voting center. So at these locations, they were urging folks to go drive 2 miles down the road to visit one that did not have a line. But the polling locations were set to close here in about 90 minutes. In the county, to your question, they have fixed the problem. This is very minutia, but ultimately it was a printer problem. They were, some of these machines that were not printing dark enough ink, and so therefore the tabulating machines were not able to read them. They have since fixed the printers, and that is why you have seen around the county these lines go down and this return to normal, but that has not kept Republicans from trying to keep them open at least a little bit longer here.
Vaughn Hilliard for us in Paradise Valley, Arizona. Again, a Republican lawsuit there to keep the polls open longer in Maricopa County.